Welcome to this week of Beanie and Boom, the podcast. Man, I am back in the booth. I was out of here last week, and Boom and our guy Spence took it over. Did a great job, but I'm back, and I'm back on a somber note, man. And we got Boom on the line. He's not here in person. We lost one of the greats, and I know all of you out there are with me in mourning one of the greats. And it's crazy because a lot of people at times sit there and say, well, you don't know these people, how can you be affected? Well, when you watch somebody like we've had an opportunity to watch Kobe Bryant come straight out of high school, win a bunch of championships with one of the most storied franchises ever, and then kind of evolve from just this young high school kid, this wild player when he's fresh in the NBA and playing with Shaq, and evolve into the Black Mamba and evolve into what he was and what he stood for. It's nothing short of amazing and incredible. And that's how we all can, have that grief because we've watched it. We've watched this guy grow in front of us. And I know I'm way younger than Kobe, but when Kobe came into the league, I'm all eyes on Kobe Bryant and all eyes on basketball at the time.
Absolutely.
So it's tough. It's hard to sit here and talk about, our heart and our thoughts and our prayers, and everybody goes out to the Bryant family. And not only the Bryant family, man. Can you imagine
all the families, man? It was more than just him and his daughter on there. Man, obviously, there were a total of was it 8?
No, it's 9
correct?
People. Yep.
I'm sorry, nine people, and I believe it was one of them. One of the guys on there was a college baseball coach.
Correct.
It was one of Kobe's daughter's basketball coaches that he actually picked out for her to be her coach, man. So it's just like we said, man, it's a huge tragedy. It's a big loss, not just for the NBA fans, but all sports fans, man. The whole world, man. I mean, Kobe wasn't just an athlete or just a basketball player. He was a important figure for a lot of young kids, even adults. Like you said, Kobe Bryant was our Michael Jordan. He was that guy that, like you said, he came straight out of high school. So for young guys like us, seeing a guy go straight out of high school, it was like, dang. I mean, obviously we played football, but it was like, man, like that was just like something great. Like, I don't know, it was just crazy.
It's so monumental. What he's meant, and he's one of those figures that goes by one name. It's Kobe.
Right.
It's Mike.
Right.
You know who you're talking about when they say Mike. It's either it's more than likely it's Michael Jordan, but you can throw Mike Tyson up in there. It's LeBron. They go by one name. It's Peyton. Talking about Peyton Manning. They go by those one names, and when you're that big enough to go by one name, you've had a profound impact on whatever sport, whatever entertainment industry you're in. And Kobe's no different, man. It's hard to sit here and talk about somebody that is such a legend and is so young that is gone.
Man,
it's so disheartening to really fathom that. And it's not to cut you off, Boom, but it's like, bro, there's no other basketball player that I can think of when I was growing up, when you were shooting a shot, you wasn't saying it's Mike. It's Kobe. It wasn't Mike. It wasn't John Stockton who could shoot the lights out of the ball or Larry Bird. It's not those guys. When you take a jump shot and when you're about to jay it in somebody's face, you're yelling one name, and that one name has been Kobe all day long, man. And to think that he's no longer here, it's so
I still
wild.
Can't believe it, man.
Unfathomable.
It's still so unreal, man. Funny quick story, man. I had to take my dog to the doctor yesterday because he was having some problems with her and whatnot. So another dog had came in and he was checking in, and the lady had asked what the dog's name, and the guy had said Kobe. Man, I was like, wow, man, it's just crazy. Like, I'm sure the guy named his dog probably after Kobe Bryant. I mean, so many people that I know have named their children or named their pet or whatever it may be after Kobe, because just the effect that Kobe had on people, man, it's just crazy, man.
Yeah, and not just on regular people. I'm going back to a story from the time I was drafted. I was drafted in Arizona, and as soon as I got drafted, I left to go to Arizona, maybe a week after, and I moved in with Larry Fitzgerald. My rookie year, that's who I was living with, Fitz. And I remember this was before we got to training camp and all that. Fitz was, he is who he is. He's Larry Fitzgerald, so he does a bunch of commercials and all that.
Another icon.
He goes to Miami, and he goes to a Kobe Bryant commercial shoot. I don't know if you guys remember the commercial where there was a bunch of people in the room, and I think Kanye West was in this commercial as well. They had a bunch of different parts of it, but Kobe's giving like a speech to everybody in this room, and they're all sitting in awe in the stands. And I remember Larry coming back and him being like a kid in a candy store. Was like, bro, you know where I was just at? I was just with Kobe Bryant. I got a chance to do a commercial with Kobe Bryant and chop it up with him. So this is Larry Fitzgerald, a Hall of Famer, right?
Yes.
And you got Kobe Bryant, who he is, but you got an all-pro, all-world, future Hall of Famer being like a kid in the candy store when talking about being in Kobe Bryant's presence. That's the impact that a guy like Kobe has. Because whether you play sports or not, you're able to draw from a guy like Kobe Bryant and his mentality and the way that he'd approach things. So whether it's business, whether it's school, whether it's sports, you can have that Mamba mentality. That Mamba mentality is striving to be the best of who you are and to go and put your best foot forward, man. So to think that that's no longer here, man, it's crazy. But I want to dig in a little bit on, some of my favorite Kobe moments, man. You got any favorite Kobe moments or favorite Kobe shoes or what?
I mean, obviously, what's so crazy is, I'm not a big shoe guy like I used to be, but everybody knows if you know me, I used to keep all the J's, all the top shoes. So when Kobe first came out, he had them trash. I remember the Adidas. Remember the Adidas that looked like almost like a spaceship?
Oh, those were fire at that time. Those were so fire.
Hey, so look. They were so fire back then, but if you go back and look at them now, it's like, you know what's so crazy? He was like he was in the future though, bro. Like that's something that's like would be like super duper hot like now, but like back in the day, it was like, dang, they Kobe's, but they look weird though. You know what I'm saying? It didn't even look like a basketball shoe. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, for me, man, I had the chance to go see Kobe's last game when he played in Cleveland, man. So I would say that was probably one of the most special moments for me because it was like, dang, man. I think I had got some good seats. I was one row behind the floor. So it was like, man, it was just amazing to see him compete against, LeBron James and him getting all the love and just being that close. I mean, I never met him physically, in person, but like being that close to him and watch him play his last game, or not his actual last game, but his last game in Cleveland against LeBron, man, that was a special moment for me, man. That's something that I'll never forget and I'll always cherish.
Oh man, and I got a story too, man, and I blame my son for this. I'll forever blame my son, Christian. At some point, you're gonna grow up and you're gonna hear this podcast. Daddy blames you for this missed opportunity. We're in Arizona, and I would go to the Suns games all the time. And my entire family's out there. I want to say it was for Christmas, and the Lakers happened to play in Phoenix throughout that week. So we go to the game. My whole family. I probably bought like 9-10 tickets to the game, and we're up close. We're not on the floor, but we're about second row, so we're just behind the Lakers bench, and I see Kobe. I'm pumped, and I had a guy that was working for the Suns at the time, and he was like, being after the game, and I get a chance to bring you back, and you'll get a chance to meet Kobe. I'll get a chance to get you and your whole family back there. You guys can get a picture with Kobe Bryant. Cool. I'm pumped. I'm at the game. I'm pumped. I'm so close. I get to see all these cats that I grew up watching on the Lakers sideline at this point in time, and I'm like, man, yeah, I'm here. I arrived because I'm this close to Kobe Bryant and the Lakers. So, long story short, my son ends up having a tantrum and a crying attack throughout the entire game, and I don't know what the hell is wrong with him. He's either 1 or 2 at the time. I don't know what the hell is wrong with him, man. We got him headphones at the game. So if it's the noise thing, the noise doesn't bother you. But for whatever reason, he's crying the entire time, and he's making it a miserable miserable game for me and his mom. So I'll leave my whole family there. Hey, I got to take the baby home. So we end up having to leave and take the baby home. My family got a chance.
Y'all left the game?
We left the game. We not go up to a suite or anything. He would not stop crying for whatever reason. We had to leave the game. So my family got a chance to go backstage. They didn't get a chance to meet Kobe. And, I'm of the belief that, if I was there, they would have got a chance to meet Kobe. But they got a chance to meet some of the other players and the coaches on that staff. But, dog, my son was being what he was at the time, a pissy baby, crying. And I could not meet Kobe Bryant because of him. So, Christian, it's your fault, my man.
Man, brother. Hey, man, that's tough.
It is, man.
As these new kids say nowadays, that's tough, man. Dang, man. So you had the chance, and my boy Christian messed it all up.
Yeah, man.
That's just terrible, man. That's terrible.
But going to and looking at the state of the NBA right now, I mean, I see so many teams coming out and honoring Kobe Bryant. You got Mark Cuban, who's saying that he's going to retire number 24. And you got certain players going out saying that they're not going to wear number 24 or 8 for that matter because of Kobe Bryant and the impact that he's had. My question is, what does the league do? What does the league do at this point in time? There's been talk about, the league changing their logo. People have been putting out on social media that the league should change their logo. Obviously, from, who's it, Jerry West?
The
league logo?
Yes.
They want to change it to Kobe Bryant. Do you think that's a fair thing to do?
Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of people don't even know who that logo was until you just said something, or if you really searched it. I mean, it was just a blank white logo. Right. You know what I'm saying? So now, if you look at some of Kobe's pictures, the logo looks exactly the same. So is it like, are they going to actually put his physical picture in that logo now?
I don't think you can do that. Yeah, I don't think you can do that.
So at the end of the day, they would have to change the whole logo. I mean, they got logos when he was driving to the cup, and it looked like the same logo. So there's probably gonna be an argument there, but I think they should change. I mean, change it to Jordan has his symbol, signature, position thing. So why not find one of Kobe's and make the change?
So the thing is, Jordan isn't on the NBA jersey though. I mean, at some point in time, one thing that is promised to us all, is just a matter of when it's going to happen, is death. So at some point in time, Michael Jordan's going to pass away. Do you, if you do pick Kobe on here, do you snatch Kobe Bryant off and pick Michael Jordan on there because of the impact that he's had on the game, and he's, to a lot of people, the unquestioned GOAT. So it's kind of hard to do. I think they do something to commemorate Kobe Bryant, to where on a regular basis in the NBA he's going to be thought of because he was that great. But I don't know about putting him on the jersey per se.
Now that you break it down like that, it makes sense. It probably won't be a good thing to do. Maybe retire all the number 24 jerseys on each team. I mean, that could be a thing. I mean, I don't know, man. There's a couple of different options, but they have to do something, though, man. They have to do something to show some respect to that guy, because he's the reason why a lot of guys who are playing right now in the NBA are even playing.
Right.
A lot of young players looked up to him just like we did. So hopefully they figure something out that could represent Kobe and it makes sense and everybody can agree on it.
Now, I don't know that there is a guy. I'm trying to think of guys in the league right now. There isn't a guy in the league right now that is as ferocious and a just straight up killer that Kobe Bryant was. At one point in time, I probably could have said maybe Russell Westbrook was kind of similar in that regard, but even now, watching him on another team, yeah, he's still balling, but he's kind of taking a backseat to James Harden. So Kobe took a backseat to nobody. At one point in time, obviously, early in his career, he was the Shaq, and that's obvious because he was so young and inexperienced. But I don't know that this league has a guy similar to Kobe Bryant that's just going to come out and going to kill you. And then, not even that, but the work ethic. I'm sure guys work as hard as he worked, but just doing some of the things that he was doing. I mean, it was, I'm up at 4 o'clock every morning. I'm in the gym. I'm going to take my kids to school. I'm back to the gym. This is why he started flying a helicopter,
The
because he was
helicopter.
like, you know what, I want to have an opportunity to take my kids to school after I get done working out, and I want to get there in enough time to where, I don't spend an hour, 2 hours in LA traffic. As we know, that can be horrendous.
Yeah.
But man, just thinking of all the great and memorable moments, I'm gonna probably say, man, my most favorite moment is watching the 81-point game.
Yeah. I think that has to be a super special moment, because how many guys? And not to cut your answer off, but you got to remember, Kobe stayed on the same team, regardless if it was, if they were great. At times they were the best team in the league, and at times they were at the bottom of the league. But you know what? The arena was still sold out. You know why? Because freaking Kobe Bryant was still on that team. Kobe kept the Lakers relevant for a long time, even when they were, not playing their best. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure, man. But I want to go back to the 81-point game. So, reason being as to why that's my favorite memory is because you hear so much about Wilt in a 100-point game, and you hear so much about so many people, scoring all these points in a game, but I don't see it. And I always said that, man.
We never seen it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nobody has the footage of Wilt actually scoring what he supposedly scored in that game. And I want to say it was 100 points or 100 and something points.
It's like 100, 111, 113.
Yeah, nobody has footage of it. And, I think that was around a point in time to where it should have been something around to where somebody's capturing that footage. To be able to watch Kobe and witness that, you can say what you want about how many times he shot the ball and how many times he would shoot it. He was an animal. And watching somebody do that was like, shit. How can one person do that in one game? We've seen somebody drop 60, and that's like, wow. But, you scoring 81 points. There are entire games in the NBA to where the score doesn't reach 81. And to have one guy do it is nothing short of amazing. And my second one, man, probably was his final game. And
the 61?
The 61, but not even because of the 61, because we know he was shooting the ball crazily in that game because it was his farewell.
But that was Kobe, though.
But after the fact, he gets on the microphone, he gives his spiel, and it was Mamba out.
Yeah.
That was it.
Did
Kobe.
He drop the mic?
Yeah, he dropped the mic. That was Kobe.
He dropped the mic. Yep.
No matter what was going on, he wasn't a guy that was going to give you a bunch of one-liners in the media to where you was going to have these hot takes. No, Kobe was straightforward. He was who he was. You knew what he was in terms of when the lights cut on and it was time to play basketball, you knew what you was going to get. It wasn't about the most the fashion shows or, I'm rocking these shoes this week, I'm watching these socks, and I'm putting on this suit, and I'm rocking it. That wasn't Kobe. None of that shit mattered. It was straight basketball. And when he gave his spiel and it's like Mamba out, you knew that the game would be missing something forever. Because now, we live in a social media era. We live in a completely different era to where a lot of importance is put on different aspects of the game. You got to worry about what guys wear and, what their swag is like. No, my swag, being Kobe Bryant was, I'm going to go out and I'm going to whoop your ass play after play. That was his swag.
Straight killer instinct.
And that will be missed, man. And it's just so sad. And I try to make light of the moment because I try to think about the good things and the good memories that we have with Kobe Bryant. But he's touched so many people, man. You hear LeBron James come out and talk about, the impact that he's had on the game, the impact that, Kobe Bryant has had on him. And I'm sure, there was a video of LeBron crying coming off a plane. I'm sure all of those dudes that had personal relationships with Kobe are tremendously impacting. Like you said, Boom, the players that followed him and wanted to be great like him. Hell, Bron in high school, Bron wore those ugly spaceship shoes you were talking about. LeBron James wore them in the yellow color and in the green color. They had them at St. V.
Hey, what's so crazy? I heard him telling that story about how Kobe gave him those shoes, and Kobe wore a 14. And LeBron wore a 15, and he still wore them. And that was when they played Oak Hill against Carmelo.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, if you watch that game, Oak Hill was supposed to be St. B, but that's when Bron kind of just took over, man. was just another like, it's like, dang man, like that's the impact that he had on people. Like, bruh, this shoe way too small for you, but I'm about to make it work just because it's the simple fact that it's some Kobe's and he actually gave me these. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. Just thinking real quick, how many guys would you say that are, athletes, and for you at home, I want you guys to chime down on this in the comments, that are athletes, that are entertainers, that would have as big as an impact as Kobe Bryant has had on one thing? We can't even really say one thing because he impacted an entire culture and genre. I can't think of many guys. Obviously, Michael Jordan being one of them. You look at LeBron being another one, but I can't think of a lot of guys who have had that impact. Certainly, nobody that comes to mind in football off the top of my head. Tom Brady.
Honestly,
well,
honestly, Beans, there's not gonna be too many. Even you might be able to name one or two, but
and when I say the impact, I mean the impact on, the mentality, the winning, the doing whatever it takes, the being like supernatural, the Mamba mentality, essentially.
Bro, that's what he's the Mamba, bro. So it ain't too many other guys that you're calling the Mamba. You know what I'm saying? The guy got that name for a reason, bro. So all you can do is kind of learn from him and try to do the same as him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't anybody that could overstep what he did or what he created. I mean, LeBron is King James. You know what I'm saying? He's not Mamba James. You know what I'm saying? It's just a difference, man. You know what I mean? Dude just had I don't know, man. It's just weird, man. It's so weird for a person like himself, with so much power and so much effect on the world, man. See gone now, man.
These type of heroes and icons and legends, it's like they're not supposed to be gone so soon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. That's why it's a super hard pill to swallow, man, and really accept. Honestly, I mean, we're all gonna have to, go someday, man. But it's just like, Kobe is only 41 years old, man. I mean, it just seemed like he was just getting into his second stage of life, man.
Mm-hmm.
Which it seemed like it was going to be just like his, NBA career. I mean, he was doing so many great things, not just in the United States, but,
I want to say he won
over in China.
An Emmy. He was up for an Oscar nomination for his short film that he had at some point.
Exactly, man. So, I don't know, man.
Yeah, he did win an Oscar.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the guy won an Oscar, man. How many other NBA players won an Oscar?
Yeah, man. So, with all that being said, man, looking at the basketball landscape, looking at the Lakers, do you think that this is any more incentive for those guys, and it's going to drive them to an NBA championship this year?
Absolutely.
Because I was listening to First Things First or whatever those shows on Fox Sports. Marcellus Wiley talking about how he didn't think that this was going to have any impact on the Lakers and their ability to be able to just run through the league and have that extra motivation.
Man, come on, man. It's just like most of pro teams when something. It's just like kind of like when Katrina hit New Orleans. What happened that year? They ended up winning the Super Bowl. I think it was something else happened with another sports team. But it's definitely going to be motivation. I mean, obviously. Everybody wants to win a championship. Obviously, you get AD, you got LeBron over there. It's kind of not gonna say expected, but it's like, okay, these guys are in the picture of going to the finals and possibly winning. But now it puts the extra emphasis really on it now because it's like, man, we doing this for LA, we doing this for Kobe, man. We doing this for the legacy of Kobe Bryant. And if they end up winning it at the end of the year, it's just gonna make the whole story look even more greater. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So man, I just think as athletes, we're always looking for something to hang their hat on in terms of, that extra oomph. What's going to give me that extra kick in the ass to get me going a little bit more and a little bit harder, make me stay a little bit longer.
Man, it ain't just going to make the Lakers play harder either, though. It's going to make everybody's going to want to play harder because that's what Kobe. That's the effect. That's what he would want everybody else to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, even for me, like, shoot, I'm going to the gym. I'm probably gonna go a little harder because I got that mentality that Kobe. It was always, hey, you got to put that work in to be great. I want to be great. So I don't know. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna affect everybody.
Yeah, it's gonna be trying, man, for sure. Let's real quick, man. Let's talk about the Super Bowl, boom. That's this week, man. That's this week, and I know we want to transition because we want to, want to kind of lighten the mood a little bit. But this is a big deal for a number of reasons. One of those reasons being you got Andy Reid in the Super Bowl.
Right.
Andy Reid played in one Super Bowl before. He ended up losing that one, and there's been so much talk about Andy Reid. He can't get there. He always loses in the championship game, never gets to the Super Bowl. And the one time he did get there, he had some unfortunate circumstances, that's to why they lost. I mean, they weren't a completely healthy team. But on the flip side of that, you got, the San Francisco 49ers who's trying to get back in terms of being that perennial team that every year they're very good and they have the capability to make it to a Super Bowl. They're trying to get back. And I think Kyle Shanahan has done a phenomenal job. And I think he will do better. I don't know if I said better because I think this guy played in multiple NFC championship games. And that's Harbaugh when he was there. But he'll probably do just as good as Harbaugh. For them to be able to be in this Super Bowl, not with a quarterback that is just putting up these gaudy numbers, but playing phenomenal defense and running the football, I think this makes for a great matchup and some damn good storylines.
Oh, absolutely. Like you said, it's going to be a great one, man. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. You got two powerful offense. It's two. I think both teams are two complete teams at each position. You can't really find a real weakness on either team on either side of the ball, man. So, like you said, Andy Reid finally got back to the Super Bowl. He has all the weapons that he needs. So much speed on that offense. You got the great quarterback. You got a couple running backs. I think a lot of people kind of sleep on their receiver core. They have probably one of the more, probably the fastest receiving core in the NFL, man. It's just it's gonna be fun to watch, man. It's gonna be fun to watch, and I'm looking forward to it.
I can't wait to check it out. I think I'm gonna lean towards picking Kansas City to cover in this one. Obviously, it's -1, but I'm leaning more towards that because I love Andy Reid, man. I'm an Andy Reid guy. I want to see him win a Super Bowl. I don't want to see him be one of those coaches that is a phenomenal coach wherever he goes, but he just can't get over the hump. That's what happened in Philly, and I don't think Philly has been right, on a consistent basis since he left. Obviously, they won a Super Bowl, which is damn good, and you're able to hang your hat on that. But consistently year after year, I don't think Philly is where they were, now as to when they had Andy Reid. So that's why I'm pulling for him. But it's going to be a hell of a matchup, man. Two historic franchises. You have that long drought in terms of Kansas City getting there. It's going to be one for the ages, man. But that's a wrap on Beating the Boom. And I wanted to come on, talk about Kobe, pay homage, talk about some great moments, and then talk about the Super Bowl, man. So signing off. Thank you guys for listening.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe below to get the latest videos from Lettermen Row.
We got Letterman Live, we've got the practice report, we got rapid reaction. Hey, and we got Buck IQ with Zach Bourne.
For sure. We got recruiting breakdowns with Berm. We got whatever you need. Ohio State football and Ohio State athletics, we've got you covered here at Lettermen Row.